No!
Welcome to the first episode of the Spooktoberfest. On this channel, I'm doing 31 videos, one a day, for the whole duration of October. I'm picking 31 horror films I've never seen before, and I make reviews about them. So stay tuned. I have some good picks coming. So today we're talking about The Brood. 1979 was directed by David Cronenberg, who since then also made one of the most well-known sci-fi horror, The Fly, in 1986 with Jeff Goldblum. The Brood follows a father and his mentally ill ex-wife who is going through some experimental therapy while a series of mysterious murders by some seemingly small creatures are happening around town. The father needs to do anything to protect her daughter from potentially being the next victim. I've heard nothing about the film. I saw it on the Criterion channel. It had a cool thumbnail, so I decided to watch it. The film apparently had a very cheap budget of some $1 million, which is considered fairly cheap in the late 70s, but made a good enough profit in return. Cronenberg also considered this to be his only classic horror film, and what I can say about The Brood, it's good. It started off a bit rough, but it turned out pretty great as a contemporary viewer, that is. The film takes its time when it comes to setting up the mystery, the conflict, and the characters. Some may say it is slow and uninteresting, and I kind of understand that criticism. There's not a lot of things going on until maybe the last 20 minutes or so, but in my opinion, if it wasn't for the elongated setup to flesh out these elements, the film ultimately would not be as satisfying as it is, whether that be the entertainment value or the way which the filmmakers drive home the themes. I find the dialogue to be extremely pale and dry, like people are just chewing sands for most of the time. Even though they do the job of keeping the viewers in line, I find them just dry as hell. There's a couple of exposition dumps throughout the film, especially the one towards the end of Act 2, where it totally ruined the immersion for me. The scene itself and the timing of it sticks out so much. I personally feel a bit disappointed, quite frankly. It basically just tells you what the film is about. With that being said, I find the special effects makeup very gross. The practical effects, the body horror element of it is disgusting. I love it. The kills, while not too convincing, where they sort of ride between believable and borderline comical, I guess they didn't quite have the choice to do anymore considering the budget. Speaking of budget, you do feel the cheapness seeping through every once in a while, whether it's from the plain production design where you can just tell they're at a soundstage somewhere, or some very obvious ADR. I do want to take the time and point out the performance from Oliver Reed, who plays the therapist. This is a role that requires quite a lot. We have a lot of scenes where he has to essentially pretend to or become another person for his patient, so we get these moments of role playing throughout the film, and Oliver Reed played them wonderfully. I don't know what Cronenberg said to him between takes, but this performance is so complex. You never know what the character's true intentions are. You never know if he's playing the good guy or is he hiding something below the surface. So you're always guessing and trying to crack the code whenever he's on screen. All in all, I did really enjoy The Brood, even though the dialogue and the exposition dumps probably bother me way too much. I very much appreciate the theme, what it's trying to communicate, the perspectives it presented. As a horror film, it had some pretty good creepy moments. After a long setup, the finale was 100% worth it because it was pretty fucking awesome. The visual cues and costume choices seem very reminiscent of Don't Look Now, and the violent, sharp, violent score feels like a page straight out of my homie Al's Psycho. I'm thinking a B+ on this thing. What do you think? Have you seen it?